This thing on? Yeah.
What's up, world? It's your girl, Ashlee, and I'm here with my husband.
Fillmore.
And this is our Journey of Love podcast. We're so glad that you joined us today. This is our first episode. We're super, super excited.
Turn up. Turn up.
You excited, babe?
Turn up. Yes.
I can tell.
Turn up.
Really excited for the people.
Over here dancing in my seat. Woo, woo.
Yes. Okay, you hype about it. I like that. That. So one of the goals of this podcast is we want to share some of our challenges as well as our good times that we have had during our journey of love. Fillmore and I have known each other for 18 years.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a long time.
It is.
It's a really long time. So we just want to kind of share with you to empower you and to, help you out through whatever relationship challenges you are currently going through. We are definitely want to provide that millennial perspective, because some things have definitely changed throughout the years. So just want to, cover some hot relationship topics. And like I said, some of the things Fillmore and I have been through and have conquered and the joys of married life. You enjoy being married, babe?
I am.
Good. But I also want to let you know this podcast is just not for the married. It's for the single, engaged, all that. Whatever stage you are in your relationship, this podcast is for you.
Or if you're not in a relationship, the thoughts.
Oh.
Thoughts. Some people might be a thought.
Will they fall in the single category though?
I mean, yeah, but there's like different brackets of being single.
So there's subcategories of singleness.
You can be single. You can be lonely single.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was just a general category. Okay. And tell me
living a best life single.
Yeah.
You got all that. So, I mean.
So for everybody.
Everybody.
All right.
Everybody.
So we're covering the spectrum.
Right. So,
Okay.
You want to ask a question? Don't be afraid to ask me, Dr. Phil.
Not Dr. Phil.
Or Ashlee. Yes, Dr. Phil.
Oh, no. Okay.
Dr. Phil. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Very interesting.
The black guy version.
The black guy version of Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Phil. Okay.
Yes.
All right. This should be interesting. So, babe.
Yeah.
Since this is our first episode, I think we should tell the people a little bit about ourselves. How we met, how our whole journey of love started. I'm going to let you start because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to clean up and come back in with the actual truth of the situation. So I'm going to let you get it first. I'm going to let you get the ball first.
If you got the truth, why don't you just go ahead first?
No. I want you to say what you have to say.
You just want to correct me. That's all.
That's fine. You can see how you want.
That's all it is.
But I'm going to let you go ahead. I'm going to let you have the floor.
Well, I mean, listen. For everybody to know, there's always two sides to the story.
And then the truth.
If you've seen the episode of Martin, when how Martin and Gina met, there was 1,000 stories. So, I mean, just take it with a grain of salt.
Oh. Okay. Y'all heard that. Take his story with a grain of salt because I have the truth. Okay, go ahead.
Take the stories with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Grain of salt.
I'm waiting for this story, honey. I need to hear this.
It was the spring of 2002.
This is slide number 1. Go ahead.
Anyway, I met Ashlee at my first job. It was at Kroger in Memphis, Tennessee. Germantown was the actual area. Yeah, and I had already been there a year, so I had my veteran status in. So I met her there. I was a cashier at the time, and she was a bagger.
Courtesy clerk is what they were called. They were called courtesy clerks.
Now they trying to put like professional tags on all their titles now. So then
that's what I was hired as, a courtesy clerk.
It was a bagger. She bagged groceries. She went to get those carts. When they needed a price check, they said, Ashlee, you need a price check.
Yeah, that's true.
I was a cashier. So yeah, I met her there.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there, I guess, 5 years before I quit. But Ashlee was there. I met her after my first year. So, all I can say that I remember my first encounter with her. I was working, and they just threw her on my line to bag groceries.
Just threw me on the line. Okay.
Yeah, just how they throw all the new booty into the wolves.
Okay,
they threw her out there.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, she didn't say anything that I recall.
Line number 2. Okay.
So, that's pretty much how we met.
So what was your first impression of me, since you said I didn't say anything? Like, when you saw me, you was just like, eh.
I might have said, meh.
What you say? What does it mean? What does that mean?
I might have said, meh.
What does that mean?
Meh.
What does that mean?
Meh.
Okay.
It was like it was a new hire.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, we work well together.
Yeah, our relationship revolved.
Yeah.
Over time.
Even that first time, as far as work and me just keeping up with you, I did good. Give me my props. That was my first time.
Yeah, they didn't fire you, so you did good.
They sure didn't fire me. I stayed there for years. They tried to fire me.
Yes, they tried to fire you.
They tried to fire me a lot throughout those years in high school. Keep in mind, y'all, we were teenagers. Customer service was not our forte then. We were not trying to do all this extra talking to the customers, okay? So let me just go back, because, there were a few untruths in his story, okay? Let me clean it up.
Here come the details.
So he is correct. We did meet at Kroger. That was my first job. And as he stated, I was a courtesy clerk. That's what I was assigned. That's what I was hired as. And I eventually got promoted to cashier, but that's beside the point, since he liked to try to play me.
They only did that because they got tired of chasing you. They needed you in one spot so they could fire you.
It doesn't matter how I got it. I got it. So when I first met Fillmore, I thought he was rude. And I thought he was a bit of an a-hole. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was assigned to his line, as he told you all before, I spoke to him and I said, "Hey, how are you? My name is Ashlee." He looked at me, rolled his eyes, and turned his head. So it was in that moment where I said, oh, we are not going to get along at all. Period.
Okay, side note. For people who know us, does that sound real?
Yes, it sounds
real. Does it sound real?
It absolutely sounds real. You
for
like to put on a persona for certain people.
For people who know you. When does Ashlee come up? Hey, how you doing? My name is Ashlee.
I did that time. I did that time.
Never.
Oh, there you go.
Never. But continue.
That's what happened. Mm-hmm. And so I just, like I said, from that moment on, I knew we were not going to get along. And I knew from that point on to kind of, stay away from you. Because, again, I'm a teenager at this point, and my mouth was not on 10, it was on 12. And I just got hired, and so I wanted to keep my job.
She didn't need it, though.
You don't know what I needed.
You did.
You don't know what I needed.
You didn't need it.
So, needless to say, the first encounter I had with my now husband was not a good encounter. Now, somewhere along the way, I don't know at what point we had a turn in our, I guess, relationship or friendship. But somewhere along the way, Fillmore and I got really close. And we became really, really, really good friends. I don't know what caused that. Do you remember what caused it? Like, at what point we just started really hanging out?
It happened fast because of my fascinating personality.
Slide number 3. Go ahead.
Fascinating personality.
Okay.
Mm. So I mean, duh.
That's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
I guess I honestly don't remember.
Hang out with me.
Oh my goodness, I really don't know.
And if you think about it, it wasn't that many, African Americans working there.
That is true.
We had to stick together.
We were sticking together. You're right.
It was more male, dark skinned African American men, light skinned, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
There, then you African American women.
I think it was 3 of us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right.
Right. That's so you didn't have to fight with that many.
I won't go fight with none.
Y'all know black women don't like other black women, so
that's not
they
always
fight.
The
I don't
case.
like,
That's not always the case, honey bun.
It seems like y'all can look at y'all reality shows. Y'all throwing water every time y'all turn around.
Reality shows just that. It's just
I don't like beep.
As for ratings, when you are a grown woman, you have no issues with any other female. You are able to, even if you don't like them, you're able to still respect them in whatever social setting you in and going about your day. So for the people who are in these social settings, fighting, throwing water, doing all that, so ain't nobody got time for them. Too grown for that. Now, if you would have called me back, 15, 16, then yeah, I can rumble all day. But thank God for growth.
Sound good. That sounds so good.
Because that's true. Why you trying me? You trying me already.
Never sounds so good, but anyway. But yeah,
trying it. Let's get.
We was a good tag team. I would say that we was a good tag team.
We were.
They tried to separate us at work.
They did.
And because we would just have a good time. Mm-hmm. When we were there together at work, I would just say that we had a good time.
We did. And even when they tried to separate us, back in the day, so we're talking early 2000s, those when the grocery store still had those little red phones at each register. So Fillmore and I would actually pick up the phones and have a full conversation while we were checking out customers. So we literally had the phone on our shoulder as we're scanning groceries, totally ignoring the customers. So management got tired of that, and then they just kept putting us together because they was tired of us being on the phone all the time. So
sound about right.
Yeah, you was trying to get me in trouble, per usual. Just admit it.
You can only get your own self in trouble.
Lies. I was an angel. I still am. Fix your face. Why your face like that?
Ooh. You was an angel when? Now?
I've been an angel since I was born.
Ooh.
Say something smart. Say something smart. Go ahead.
I'll drink this water.
Okay. That's a good thing to do. So needless to say, we can say that this definitely was not love at first sight for either one of us.
That is correct.
But you did think I was cute though, didn't you?
It was.
I was cute. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
You weren't ugly.
So I was cute. That's what you trying to say? I'm ugly?
No, you was cute.
Ooh, he is trying it. Okay. Let's try number 2. We on line number 3 and try number 2. All right. I'm keeping score.
I'm glad.
So, we've had this wonderful friendship. And I think the first time, when did you go to college?
You said when I went to college?
Yes.
I graduated from the mighty East High School of Memphis, Tennessee in 2004. So I went off to college in fall of 2004.
So that was the first time that we were apart for real. Didn't get to hang out at work. And I was really sad about that.
You let y'all guys know something. I will never forget this.
Tell me.
My very first day of college. Outside of my parents and my sister calling me about my first day of school, the first person that calls me is Ashlee.
Yep.
She called me.
Mm-hmm.
And asked me how was school going.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had to remind me of this famous saying, the 7 B's. You want to tell the audience what the 7 B's are?
I don't know what you're talking about. You can go ahead. This is your story.
So you never came up with the 7 B's?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you don't want
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean,
let the people know. It's your story. You tell them about your college. You know, your first day in our first summer party.
But I don't want to misquote you.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For all the sensitive listeners out there, the 7 B's are books before bitches, because bitches bring babies.
Is that what that's saying for?
Yes.
Oh. I would never say anything like that.
Stop it. Stop it. But anyway, she called me my first day.
Yes.
Asked me how I was.
Yes.
And, I'll never forget that. That meant a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, she missed your boy.
I did. I didn't have anybody around at work anymore. And it was just really boring after he left, because I still had another year of high school. But, the following year, I then went off to college, to the real HU, Hampton University. Woo woo. Shout out to all my Hamptonians. And
what's up with that?
Why
do y'all have to put the real?
Because there's a constant battle between Howard University and Hampton University. Both of them are HU. So we always have to announce ourselves as the real HU, because that's what we are.
So out of those two colleges, no disrespect, but out of those two colleges, who
be careful.
No, I already put the disclaimer out there. Okay, so I'm just saying who
HBCUs out here.
Who is like really counting to see who's the real HU? I mean, only people I know that says the real HU is from people from Hampton.
Because we have to let them know that we are the real HU. Hampton is very prestigious, and I don't appreciate you trying to play my school.
I'm not. I'm just saying, okay. When you hear people say I'm from Howard, they don't never say the real HU. I just hear them say,
first of all, they do. Okay.
Is it that general area?
First of all, they do. That's an HBCU thing.
Okay. Well,
we didn't go to Ole Miss, sir. We had a little culture in our experience in our college years.
That's fine. I had to discover I was black. The real HU.
Yes, the real HU.
Black folk have to put a stamp on. This is ours. Woo. Woo.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So, anywho, back to our story. So, even throughout our college years, we were very, very close, I would have to say. I think you came up to Hampton a few times, at least once or twice before I graduated. Yeah. So we still kept in touch. We were very, very good friends, strictly platonic. I think both of us that have encountered our funny stories of dating, and either I'm an issue for whoever you're dating or vice versa. Pretty much the guys I dated did not like Fillmore, even though they hadn't met him, except one guy met him. They just didn't like him. They thought we were too close. And I think you had some instances.
Yeah, I had several.
Yeah.
Several altercations. Because, Ashlee was BFF, and right. I had to explain to them, like, this is the homie.
All day. I wasn't going anywhere.
The friend. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. So, I just had to let them know. Mm-hmm. Even though, who was that? Why is she calling you? Who's that?
I got the same. But I think it was rare, especially for people in our age group, to be platonic friends. That was very rare. And so I think a lot of people didn't know how to handle that or process that, because it was genuinely, you my dog.
True.
So I think that was part of the issue.
And it wasn't like we was distant. So, I mean, it wasn't like we was in the same city.
Totally different state.
It wasn't like I was calling you every day, right. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because people know when you call Ashlee, you have to be on the waiting list. So you just leave that text message or that phone call. And then, whenever it comes in during the week, okay, it's Thursday. I should call him back. He called me 5 days ago.
Yeah.
That's
Or if you would have texted me a 911 text, and I'll pick up because I think something happened. But yeah, I was pretty bad at returning phone calls.
Right.
So he would call me back to back sometimes. which would cause problems too with whoever I was dating, because it's like, if he's just a friend, why he keep calling you? I'm like, clearly he wants something. So
yeah,
then it'll be a problem when I answer the phone.
Maybe it was just to see if she was alive or something. Jeez.
So yeah, we had good times. Like I said, we kept in touch. We visited each other. Fillmore would help me whenever it was time for me to move to new residences, new apartments. Fillmore would fly. Y'all, he would fly up. He's a great friend. He would fly up to move my furniture for me. He was an amazing, amazing friend.
I mean, she called a person she can rely on.
True. And it was pretty sad if you think about that. To call somebody in a whole other state to come help me move, as opposed to the state I was already in. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Now I think about it, going back. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So,
but there was no motive in that.
No, there was not.
It was strictly genuine. Just
on any part. There was strictly no motive on any part. So how do we get from this friendship of 14, 15 years to like the married state? Like, what happened that we went from friendship to, oh, I think I want to date you? Like, what happened on your end, in your mind? Like, what was the event that kind of was like, dang, I think she might be the wifey?
I mean, over time, it got to the point where, for people who don't know this, over the years we would have conversations about, our significant other or whatnot, and, just the vent. She'll get a male's perspective on, why he do this, why he do that, blah blah. I would do the same thing, and so it just got to the point where I felt like nobody else was, good enough for her, or if you was good enough for her, you had to bring it. Like, you really had to bring it. And I told her this, I told her this like a couple times. You already know what I'm finna say, don't you? I told her this a couple times. I was like, look, by the time we get 30, we married somebody. How about we, we just have a kid. We keep him over there.
Y'all, he asked me to be his baby mama. That's what he asked me. That is what he asked me.
I did. I did, and she would just, ignore me or tell me to go on, but
because that's crazy. Y'all, that is crazy.
He
pretty much asked me to be a single mother, because the child would stay with me, and he would just fly up when he wasn't working. That's what he asked me.
I mean, I could have kept him too, but
and I had no issue. I knew he would take care of his child, but the point was, I couldn't believe this man asked me to be his baby mama.
But look at the logic. The logic behind it was, I felt like, look, we didn't get to this point. Mm-hmm. It ain't finna happen for us. Mm-hmm. We ain't gonna meet the right people. There was
you just gave up, huh?
Man, I had gave a timeline. I was like, look,
it was rough, babe.
It's not gonna work. So how about? And I just knew that you was gonna be the perfect mother. You was gonna take care of it. Sweet. Mm-hmm. You knew I was gonna be, a good dad. Mm-hmm. So, and I just felt like, hey, the child was just gonna have to understand. Hey, that's your mother. I'm your father. Mm-hmm. We ain't together.
Okay.
So that's where my mind was at. Mm-hmm. Like, so, but yeah, she kept. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Stop playing. No. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I said it multiple times because I was so serious.
You were serious,
but I still wasn't thinking like, in a relationship type thing.
Clearly, because you wanted me to be your baby mama. You wanted me to be the BM.
So I'm just saying. But but when it got to the point with you dating other guys, it was just like, especially when they wasn't treating you right, this, that, and the other. So it was just
it's a mess.
A protective type thing. Mm-hmm. So but I remember it started triggering off. I think it was like, went to All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm. In New York.
Yep, 2014 All-Star Weekend. And y'all know what happens in All-Star Weekend, fellas.
Nothing. Just
Don't
parties
believe
and
that.
fun.
Don't believe that was line number 1. Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Try number 3.
So it was the All-Star Weekend. And she called me. She called me after the All-Star Weekend because I was hitting her up, and she was ignoring me.
I think it was around your birthday too, wasn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So, she was just telling me about how fascinating and how much enjoyment she had in All-Star Weekend, and she wanted to tell me about this lawyer guy she had met. And everybody knows Ashlee. She is never really excited about a person, and so this guy had to impress her. He had a 800 score on his credit.
Yes, come on, 800.
He must have been rolling in with the Lexus with the top down. So he swept her off her feet instantly. And then she was just, this lawyer guy. And I'm like, he's a lawyer. He's a liar. Lawyers lie. That's how I look at it. They lie. They paint a good picture, to convince you to think otherwise. So, so I'm like, so he sold her a dream, and she was like, I'm finna buy this.
Now, lady, hold on. Let me interject because I gotta speak for the ladies. Because when you out there and you think you met this guy, it's always gonna be some guy that's just like, oh, he is it. Like, you may have talked to the guy maybe 2 minutes, but in your mind you have formulated. You like, listen, I done met this guy. He got this. We about to be married. We gonna have 2 kids. Our house gonna look like this. So the ladies know what I mean. But honestly, y'all, I don't get excited by guys. And I just thought it was funny because not only did I call Phil, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, listen, I have met your son-in-law. Like, this is it. This is it. I know it. I just know it. See? So in my mind, I had formulated all this. Right. We had only spent a short time, but I was ready. I was ready to go down the aisle already.
You ready to throw the drawers on the stage. Yes. God.
But carry on.
But anyway, I was just like, this lawyer, you ain't met this man 2 minutes. But anyway, time went on. And, she would bring him up every now and then. Oh, we're going out here. Oh, he's going to drive up to Virginia and we're going to go here.
Ain't nobody say all that. Ain't nobody say all that.
But anyway.
He trying to act like we went out. We never, let me tell y'all, I never went out on a date with this guy. This was strictly, I met him during that time frame. It was maybe a couple of texts back and forth. That was it. He trying to act like the man was flying me out to Paris and stuff.
So basically, I guess she trying to say she stood him up,
No, that's not what happened.
The shade.
Not at all.
But anyway, I would bring him up and be like, so what's up with that lawyer dude? Oh, nothing. This, that, and that. So I was like, okay, cool. He wasn't good for you anyway. So I guess that was the beginning stages of, couldn't nobody, you know what I'm saying, be good enough for you.
And you thought you wasn't good enough for me.
At the same time, I was just, look. Look now. Just sit here.
Just sit here with my hands on my head. Don't move.
Yeah, don't move.
You was trying to put me on the shelf, babe?
Right, just sit here. Just don't move till the real Mr. Wright comes along.
Okay.
Right. So
at that time, you still didn't think you were Mr. Wright. You just knew I had met the Mr. Wright.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So when did you think you was Mr. Wright for me? If it wasn't then.
I don't know. It just, I don't know. You had this birthday trip that you were supposed to go on. Well, we did go on, and I remember that was in the same year. Actually,
it was
when you started planning it.
It was.
So, This is like later in 2014. I had
I think it's 15. I think All-Star Weekend was 15. It's 15.
No, it was 14.
No, it was 15.
It was 14.
I'm about to Google it.
It was 14.
I'm pretty sure it was 15 because we went to Mexico in 15.
We went to Mexico in 15. All-Star Weekend was in 14. Anyway, I was sitting at home. I was on my couch because I had broke my leg. Sidebar. But I remember
sidebar.
I remember her hitting me up and saying, "Yeah, hey, I'm planning a trip for my birthday out of the country and I want you to go with some of my friends." I'm like, cool. You know, they were all mutual friends, so hey, we've done these type of trips and I'm always down for a trip.
Always.
So I'm like, cool. Where we going? Mm-hmm. She's like, I don't know. I was like, cool. Just let me know when you're ready to go. So, and then I think it was like December-ish, 2014. I hit her up, and then she was like, it was small talk. And I brought up the trip, and I was like, what's up with the details? Well, everybody's, not, able to go and falling off, this, that, and the other. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not going on this trip. She was like, no, I still want to go. I'm like, with who? You. And so I'm like, me? Like, yeah, you. So people who know me, I don't do, well, I had never been on a friend.
A one-on-one friend trip?
Quotation mark.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Friend trip.
Right. With
an opposite sex.
Uh-huh.
So, especially her.
But I was the bestie.
She was the bestie. So I was thinking like,
And I was single.
I was shocked. I was single too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like shocked. Like, she want to go? Okay. That's new. So I was like, asked a couple of people about it. And I was like, you think she likes you now? And I was like, I don't know. I said, we've never had that conversation. And I mean, never. Ever had that conversation. Like, I never tried anything with her. Like, never, like, not even an ounce, like, nothing. Like, I don't even know what her hand feels like. I would never. We've never held hands.
Ever.
I don't know what her breath smelled like at the time. Didn't get that close. So, yeah, it was just all like, it's a little head scratcher right there. And so
he was overthinking it, y'all. I just wanted to go on vacation.
That's fine. That is just fine. That is just fine. I don't think there was a crime for me to overthink it. But, I wasn't going to act like I was overthinking it while I was on the trip. I was going to play it cool. Mm-hmm. Like Cool Whip.
Like Cool Whip. Yep. Okay.
Doo-doo-doots. Yeah, so the trip comes along, and we go on a trip.
We do.
We have a good time.
We did.
One thing I would say about this trip was that it was for her birthday once again, and the thing that pointed out that was different about this trip was she opened up on this trip. It was like a big release for her.
I think I always opened up. I think you just been a little dramatic. I was always open with you.
That is true, but it was more so between us. It was more so I was more open up to you than precipitated.
Got it.
So, this was your trip, you know what I'm saying? So it was all you. You was more so than usual. You was really just
okay
in your feelings a little bit more so than usual.
Oh, okay.
That's how I felt. Okay, so
just for the listeners, I was my normal self. That's him overthinking again. But go ahead.
It was not. I probably know her more than anybody else that knows her besides her mama.
I'll give you that.
But right there, so ain't nobody gonna tell me anything about you.
Oh, okay. All
right.
I'll give you that.
So I mean, it was a good trip. I mean, everything was still cool. And then the way I felt like she opened up, it was just kind of like, she got her head on her shoulders. Come on, man.
You should have known I had my head, a good head on my shoulders anyway.
I did, but I'm just saying that, no, that was as an adult, especially in our late 20s.
Yeah.
That was a good time for us just to hang.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't had that one-on-one hang in a long, long time.
True.
Every time we hung it was a
group.
It was a group.
Yeah.
So, people act a little different when there's groups.
True.
So, all personalities don't come out.
Yeah.
So just, tell the listeners about your end. About how did you start thinking that
Fillmore left out some he left out some key information. That's why I always got to kind of go back in and kind of clean up his story a little bit. So we did go on the trip. We went to Mexico. Now the thing about it is Fillmore and I have always exchanged gifts on our birthdays, but it's never been anything big. A gift card, back in the day, CDs, nothing extravagant. Maybe go out to dinner if we happen to be in the same area, or if he flew up to where I was, but that was it. So we go to Mexico. First of all, he was in charge of getting the room. Okay. Now, it was a beautiful resort. Get in the room. I'm like, this room is beautiful. Get to the bedroom. I'm expecting to see 2 beds, and it's 1 bed. So then I'm looking at him with the side eye. I ain't say nothing though, because I'm like, all right, whatever. This is just a friend. I know ain't nothing going down. He could just sleep on that side. But I just thought that was interesting that he didn't get 2 beds.
That was the reason why there was...
What was the reason?
Because it was way more expensive. This was a nice resort.
You trying to save some coins?
Man, I don't know what kind of lifestyle y'all got going on in this country, but people that know me, I don't like spending a whole lot of money on hotels and rooms that I know I'm not going to spend most of my time in. Yeah. But I know this was your birthday. It was nice.
And he know I don't stay in no Motel 6s. He know I
That's
require
correct.
the 5-star treatment. He already
and it was nice.
It was very nice.
So I said, look, I'm not trying to spend an arm and leg on 2 rooms. So I was like, we going to be in here. Mm-hmm. This one nice suite. It's a suite, y'all. It was a suite.
It had a whole kitchen, dining room, living room. It was
2
beautiful.
balconies.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful. You did a great job. Yeah. So that was the first kind of clue to me with that 1 bed situation. I was like, okay, well, whatever. Don't overthink it. So we had, the day after we got there was my actual birthday. So I'm an early bird. I'm still an early bird to this day. I woke up early and he was still asleep. And I was ready to go outside and play, for lack of a better word, and he was still asleep. So I had to wait for him to wake up, which took forever. Just saying.
We on vacation.
It doesn't matter. Like, I want to go out and you're still asleep.
She wanted to go out before breakfast was served.
Again, I'm an early bird.
They still putting towels on the seats outside of the pool.
So, that was my actual birthday, like I said. So when he did get up, I was sitting in the living room, and he comes in the living room. He hands me a birthday card, which was absolutely beautiful. Now, again, like I said, he always gives me birthday cards, but this one was different. It had some romantic undertones in the card. Yes, it did.
It did not.
And I wish I could put my hands on it. I know I still have it. I just got to find it. I wish I could put my hands on it right now so I can read, so people can hear the romantic undertones.
Well, you should have had the card. It didn't.
It absolutely did, y'all.
I'm a good card giver.
You are, but that one was totally different. All the cards I received prior to that was, happy birthday, friend. Something light and mentioning friendship. And this one was not.
She was
like
looking
that.
for the 2-liner cards, the one that's 99 cents. She was looking for those. So I just gave her a Hallmark card.
Whatever.
With
some romantic undertones that you're not going to admit to.
It had no romantics in there.
Okay, but in addition to that, again, as I stated, y'all, stay with me now. Prior to this, it had been cards, gift cards. That was pretty much it. And again, when we were younger, like CDs or little, trinkets like that. This man has bought me a pair of tennis shoes. In addition to, he pulls out a Gucci box. In addition to all that. I ain't never got no Gucci for my friends. Ever. So, he gives me this romantic card that he's trying to say it wasn't romantic, and it was. With these gifts that he had never, ever given me before. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. Thanks. This is nice. But I did not know how to process that. Because I'm like, why are we giving all these extravagant gifts all of a sudden? This is not our level of gift giving to each other.
I wasn't trying to be extravagant.
You were.
I was just trying to make it a nice birthday for you.
And it was a fabulous birthday.
I mean, God. She wanted me to bring her kazoo and a 1996 card. I just felt like, hey, it was her birthday. Mm-hmm. Let me just, make her feel wanted a little bit. And
so you were doing that for me.
Feel special a little bit. So, I was like, bam, here you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But throughout the trip, there were just other little things. When we went to sit on the beach that one day, I just noticed how protective you were of me. And you had always been protective, but it was more than normal. Like, everything on that trip was just more than normal. Like, yeah, he's protective, but this is a different level. The constantly making sure I'm good, making sure I was okay, making sure that I was happy. It was just to another level. And I just never experienced that. I'm like, what is going on?
Y'all know what that is.
What is it?
I'm grown.
You grown?
That's what it is. I'm grown. A grown man. Grown.
You was grown man.
That's how you treat a woman.
Yes.
Grown.
Yes.
Grown.
So, I mean, it'll just be times where I know we took a boat ride to one of the, what's the island called? I know it translates to the island of women. I forgot the Spanish word for it. But you put your arms around me. You were like taking these candid photos of me in the moment. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And I remember too, we went to Senor Frog, having a good time. And the lady came up to take our picture. And clearly she thought we were together. She thought we were on item. So we were taking a picture, and she then proceeds to tell me to, go ahead and give him a kiss, and I'll take the picture.
I want to hear this. I really want to hear this.
What do you want to hear about?
I just want to hear how you going to explain this one.
I just told her, I just shook my hand and said, no, I'm not going to kiss him. And she just kind of looked at me.
That was a nice version.
And, well, that is the version. It's not a nice version.
That was a nice version.
Well, what happened then?
All right. Just like she said, the woman said, hey, go ahead and kiss him. She hit me with the no. No.
Ain't nobody do all that.
Take the picture.
Oh my goodness. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I recall it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, the whole experience, it was amazing experience. I even remember getting a pedicure while I was there, with the little fish in the bowl. You remember that? We met the guy, and it was it was so funny because as I was doing that, the guy was talking to me, and he began to massage my leg with the lotion like they typically do with the pedicure. And Fillmore just kept leaning over the guy and was like, "Hey, don't get too close. Don't get no higher." Do you remember doing that?
I remember that.
So that was just another thing. I'm like, what? Okay, all right. I mean, he was still below my knee.
That's not the point. You get El Loco over here rubbing on your leg. I'm like, bro, hold on. Don't disrespect me while I'm standing here.
But you were the friend, though.
So what?
It's something my man.
They don't know that.
That's something my man would do. But like, hey,
El Loco didn't know who I was. Don't disrespect me out in these streets.
Okay.
All right. Man.
Well, he didn't.
I know he didn't.
So, yeah. So I remember 2, when it was time to go, because we weren't there too long, maybe about 5 days, 4 days, something like that. I think it was 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was a relatively, short but fun and exciting trip. But our flights left at different time on the day we were leaving.
Yeah, I left first thing smoking.
Yes, he was on the first flight out, like it was still dark outside. And so he woke me up as he was about to leave out for the airport, and he gave me a hug. Again, hugs is something we always did. But for some reason, this hug just felt different to me, and I did not know why. And so he hugged me, and I was like, okay. And he left, went to the airport, got on his flight. And I left, a couple hours later, and he, texted me to make sure I was okay. And I, got back home to where I was supposed to be and all that. So the whole trip just left me with a big question mark with our relationship. Because I just saw everything in a totally different light when it came.
Because she was messing with a real one. That's what it was. That's what it was. I mean, come on.
So, I would say a few weeks after the trip, I was talking to my mom, and somehow Fillmore came up. I'm not even sure how this whole conversation came up. And she just made the statement. She said, "Oh, that's your husband, right?" And I said, "What you talking about?" She said, "Fillmore." I was like, "Mom, stop. That's my friend. Ain't nothing like that. Yada, yada, yada." And so when she said that, I kind of thought about it. I entertained the idea for a little bit, and I was like, nah. But then I thought about everything that happened on the trip and how just out of the norm it was for us. And so I remember, did I call you or text you? I think I texted you.
You text me.
So yeah, I texted him, and I was sharing what my mother had said. I was like, yo, this is what my mama said. He was like, what? I'm like, she said that you were my husband. And I think I put something to the fact, isn't that funny, LOL? Something along those lines.
I hit it back with the LOL.
And then, no, you didn't hit me back with anything.
I thought I did.
No, you didn't.
What'd I say?
You didn't say anything.
Or did you?
Word. No, you said, oh, really? Or something along that line. But you didn't hit me with the LOL. And I remember that because you didn't, I was like, oh, so I wasn't whatever the response was. It wasn't the response I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting the whole, oh, she's so crazy. La, la, la. That's what I was expecting. Mm-hmm. When I didn't get that, I was like, well, let me see. I was like, you know what? I'm curious. So I hit him with have you ever thought of us being more than friends text? And what was your response, babe?
At that moment, I knew I had to be.
What in the world?
I had to be 100.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, let me just go in there and just be straight up. I said, yep.
He did. He said, yep. And I was not expecting a response. And so I hit him with oh, okay.
After a while, it wasn't like a reply right back. It was a while before she said, oh, okay.
I had to get myself together. And I said, oh, okay. And I think I was online shopping at the time. And then I sent him a picture of some random outfit and was like, hey, do you like this outfit? Totally changed the subject. And you responded to the outfit question.
Yep, I did.
And then I think you waited a little bit. And then you hit me with have you thought about us being more than friends?
Mm-hmm. I had to take the pressure off.
Is that what you did?
Yep.
Okay. And my answer was, I hadn't until the trip.
Because she was messing with a real one.
And that was pretty much it for that day of conversation, because I really had to sit down and think and be like, what in the heck is going on? So when I asked you that question, you said you had thought about it. When did you think about it? Like
right before we went on the trip. Cause you remember I said that I had conversations.
That's right, with your homeboys.
With the homeboys, mm-hmm. And of course, over time, people have always asked me, that's your girlfriend, or would you go, nah. So of course, with the trip being so close in the conversations I had, of course, the thought came in my head, could I see her being a little bit more than the bestie? Or the friend or the BFF, whatever y'all want to call it, the homie, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then so, I just was like, I look at it as if you, a person that you really want in your corner, to be, by your side and be, that woman, you was, you had all the qualifications, I would say.
I was qualified. Y'all heard it?
You had all the, you had the qualifications, you know what I'm saying? So I was looking at, yes, it could possibly, but it would have to be a strong come to Jesus meeting.
Yes, God.
If that was if that was to happen, because we've been friends for so long and we've never talked about it. I think that was like, I hadn't been nervous to talk to a woman.
Yeah.
In a long time, because look, I mean, by the time I was what, 20,
late 20s,
28,
yeah,
probably, and by 28, 29, somewhere around in there. And so by then, my whole dating scene, I had evolved.
You have evolved.
And
20.
When people that know me, I could be nonchalant. So it was kind of like, a turn down, because men, we get turned down all the time. So it got to the point where in my life I was like, I can take a no and be okay. I'm good, because it's more women out here. You missing out on me.
No.
So
come on now.
So so but it was kind of nervous, and I didn't want to bring that up. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just going to happen organically if it was going to supposed to happen.
All right.
So that's why I never mentioned it. I said, through the conversations, I said, if anything happens, she will have to initiate it.
Yeah.
For me to go, okay. Because, I mean, guys, we don't like looking like the fool now. That's why most guys, they get upset when the girl turn them down.
Yeah.
It ain't easy no more. Chivalry's dead. We can't go up to a woman nowadays and say, hey, you're beautiful. Can I take you out for lunch? They give you the, no, I can buy my own food. And she done missed her blessing. She done missed her blessing. She done missed it because she wanted to be all hard and independent. See, Beyonce messed it up for y'all. And they came up with that song. And then y'all just think, oh, I don't need you. I don't need you. But then y'all be hanging out. I need a man. I need a man.
I think it's more so they want a man.
I need a man. X, Y, and Z, but still. So, I said, hey, if anything happens, even on the trip, I said, if anything happens, I'm not going to initiate it. She will. So, nothing happened on that trip. But a few weeks later, you opened the Pandora's box.
And again, I was just asking the question, expecting a no. But I just needed the confirmation, because I thought, hey, I was tripping because, like I said, my mom had put the idea in my head, and then I kind of was thinking about what he was doing on the trip. So I was like, let me just put this thought to rest. And when I didn't get the answer I was looking for, I was like, oh, okay. So then I had to sit back and be like, oh, so now what do I do with this information? So how did we even?
Oh, you don't remember?
I know what I do remember is that it took me over or right at a month for me to give you an answer.
No, hold on. Before we even got to that part.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
We had a whole lot of dialogue.
We did.
There was.
We did.
Listen, y'all. I'm not a phone talker
at all.
I will text you,
but he will all day. But he talked to me though. He's always talked to me.
It had been years. I mean, 5+ years since I was on the phone.
Yes.
Talking to anybody for that long. We was on the phone like 3-4 hours.
Yes.
Who does that now?
Yes. I'm talking about going to work tired the next day.
She had to go to work. I was off.
And we're tired as crap.
Just still. And then we'll do it the next night.
Again.
We would have long conversations.
Yeah. We did.
A whole lot. So there was a lot of dialogue there.
There was.
So, I mean, because we had to iron some things and say some things and share some things that we haven't shared with one another. So it was nice, a couple therapy sessions.
It was.
I never, tell anybody this, but,
yeah.
Stuff like that.
It was a lot of pillow talk. It was a lot of things that we kind of knew about each other, but didn't know to what depth.
Right.
So it was more detailed share. And keep in mind, too, we also had the factor of being long distance.
Right.
Phil was in Georgia and I was in Virginia. And so there was a lot of stuff we had to kind of figure out, if we even wanted to embark on this journey at all.
Right.
I was extremely nervous.
I was too.
I was extremely nervous. And the crazy part is, Fillmore had all the qualities that I had prayed for in a man. All of them. And I could not figure out why I was so nervous. So here it is, this guy who has everything I asked for. And I've known him. He has literally been in my life for half of my life. So I think a part of it was, what if this doesn't work? Then I not only lose a relationship, but I lose my friend for umpteen years. And so I had a lot of what if questions. And it was a lot of, in addition to the conversations we were having, it was a lot of thinking I had to do on my part. One, to make sure, and I would tell anybody who's considering crossing the friendship line or escaping the friend zone to become, to start dating your bestie, to really consider, if you're ready. For one, I think I took this a little more seriously than I'd taken any other relationship because I knew you and I was vested in you to the degree that I wanted to see you happy and I wanted to see you succeed in whatever it is that you were going to do. I also know I will always say that when you were out here dating these random folks that are irrelevant now.
She used to call them trash bags.
I did. I always knew that they weren't for him. And I always said that Fillmore deserves someone who is going to treat him right. I said he is a genuinely good guy. And he needs a good woman. And the people he dating just ain't it. At the time, I didn't realize I was talking about me. Because I wasn't thinking that way. But when we, were having these in-depth conversations, I really had to make sure that one, I was ready to take it head on. That I had to, make sure that the past stayed in the past, with these others. And I had to really evaluate myself and say, okay, love is about risk, just like life is about risk. Either you're going to take this risk and win big, or you're going to take this risk and it not work out. And it took me so long to even give you an answer because I was just weighing out this risk because I was so scared that if it didn't work, that I would lose my bestie. And I didn't want to do that. So the one thing I appreciate is that you never pressured me. You asked me after all this conversation to be your girl. But you never pressured me. It wasn't like you thought about it yet? You had an answer yet? It wasn't. And I appreciated that because I was very intentional in how I handled you. So, yeah, so anybody out there who is thinking about that, I would just say, listen, it's a risk. And I think it's a risk worth taking because you never know. Like, I took that risk and we're married now, living our best life, traveling the world, doing it big. And he genuinely is, to this day, still my best friend. He's just his title changed from best friend to husband. But he's still the bestie.
Yep. And I would say, from my perspective, with the, the conversation we was having leading up to us being a couple,
yeah,
item,
yeah,
as they say.
mm-hmm.
Mine wasn't, on the what if thing. Mm-hmm. I was over here checking out boxes like, yes. What? Through the conversations, like, okay, that's what I need to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I need to hear. Because I'm very, very, like, I can be turned off real easily. I can kick you to the curb real easily. Yes. So it was just like, yeah. So it was like, cool. Yeah. So once I had it in my head, like, okay, let me, pursue this. I had to actually do what the man's supposed to do and pursue this. So, I put out the opportunities. It was all timing and everything because she ended up getting, she had an interview for this job she really wanted. So boom, boom, he got an encouragement. And then she ended up getting the job. Yep. Boom, let me come down and let's celebrate. Boom. Yep. I ain't spent one day. I spent a couple of days.
Yeah, he did
down there to celebrate. So you know what I'm saying. I had to take the initiative.
Yep.
To show her, hey, even though you live where you live, I'm willing to get out of my comfort zone and sacrifice to try to make this work. Because it was only going to take me to make this work.
Yep.
Nobody else. FaceTime wasn't going to do it.
It was
I'm
not.
sorry. FaceTime wasn't going to do it.
It was not.
And keep in mind, I had never done that. Like, I never, was being persistent. Or trying to be with somebody else in another city because that was my thing. I was just like, no. I mean, I'll come see you, but I ain't finna be coming down there.
But this man would get on a plane to come see me consistently. Yes.
So it would just paving the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Paving the way. So on the thing on how I asked her to become my woman, my girlfriend or whatnot, I just kind of went old school. But what new school way?
He went elementary, y'all, is what he trying to say. Go ahead.
That's fine. I still think it was pure genius.
It was cute. It made me laugh.
Because I found a sticky note. I found a picture of a sticky note and said, will you be my girlfriend? Had a yes and a no. And I sent it to her.
He did.
Back in the day, you was elementary school. These new kids don't know about this. So you used to pass notes. Pass notes in class. It said, hey, will you be my girlfriend? Yes, no, circle, maybe.
Right. And she'll fold it back up and send it right back to you.
Right. They used to pass it back to you. Your homegirl, they just come by your desk, drop it off. These new kids, they don't know about it. They text, or they be like, yo, hey, what's up, though? They yelling at each other now.
Right.
So, I kind of went a little old school.
Yeah. And I thought it was cute. I did. I got the text. I thought it was really cute. And my response to that was maybe.
Yeah.
It was maybe. Because I still wanted to process and think about some things. And like I said, it took me a month to give him an answer. I think around that month time period is when you flew down or flew up rather to see me. And after us hanging out having a good time, you just was like, hey, you never answered my question. And again, he never pressured me. This was the first time I heard him say anything about the question since he asked me the first time. And so since he kind of put me on the spot, I already kind of knew which way I was leaning. And I was leaning towards yes. It was a nervous yes, but it was a yes. And so when he asked me, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. And I was nervous. And when I gave him that yes, though, I just knew that would not be the last yes he would get from me. I just had a feeling. Can't explain it. But I knew that when I said yes to him, that this would be like my last relationship. Like, this is the one for real, for real. So, I say all that to say.
Ooh, that was deep. Look at that.
So, I say all that to say, that if you are in a situation where you have a bestie, I would say take the risk. One, I really would. And to not be scared, to not be fearful. And because you really never know what could come of it. You know, it could just be a beautiful love story, just like ours was. And, you know, just enjoy the ride. You know, have lots of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean lots of conversations. You have to really make sure you're on the right page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a little tip for people who are doing long distance, because a lot of people say long distance can't work. Not seriously anyway.
Right.
It can work, but you have to be consistent, and
Really
you have
consistent.
to, without a doubt, have some sort of plan of action. Fillmore and I were very intentional about seeing each other it was pretty much monthly. We saw each other monthly.
Yeah, I had to be real consistent.
Yes.
Real consistent.
We saw each other monthly. We talked every day on the phone, and that's rare for me as well, because anybody who knows me know I get irritated easy. And if you keep calling me, I'm like, listen, this is not going to work because you calling me too much.
Right.
I mean, and it could be, I was I was real drastic. Like, a person could call me on Monday, and if the guy calls me back on Thursday, I'm like, didn't I just talk to you? It was that bad, you know? So that's another reason I knew Fillmore was the guy, because I could talk to this man every day, all day. And I never got tired of him, I never got tired of him. And I'm still not tired of him today. Like, I can still talk to him every day. Matter of fact, we do. Even though we are now married, staying in the same house, when he's at work, when I'm at work, we're still texting each other all day.
That is not a lie.
So, yes, be open, and, you know that long distance can work, but you have to be consistent. You have to have a plan of action, and, you know, you got to do what works for you. You two is a couple. So what would you say to the people, like, maintaining that or trying to cross that friend zone threshold?
I would just say be persistent.
Mm-hmm.
For fellas out there, you know, if you're gonna make your mind up and say, hey, I want this person,
mm-hmm.
you know, we're gonna do, you know, those guys, we're gonna be persistent. If we want something, we're gonna go get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, go get it, be persistent.
Yep.
You know, show initiative. And then once you get it, you got to keep it up. That's the thing about it, guys. You got to keep it up.
Have to. Women love when a man is consistent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to set the tone. So you got to decide what tone you're going to set.
That's right.
And then you got to keep it up, because once you change this, then they just
it's gonna be a problem.
Discombobulated. They just, oh my God, their life is just over with. What happened? You wasn't. So you got to keep it the same.
Yep.
You know, until, you know, you're ready to do something else. Because if you decrease what you was doing, then it's going to.
Then you acting funny.
Right. You're acting funny, especially when you ain't got the little tail. When you didn't, smoke them a little bit. So, you know, then that's when they start looking at you. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
So, you know, being consistent.
Okay. That's some good info.
Yeah,
good advice.
Because some guys, you know, we can be.
They start off strong and then it just kind of wanes.
That's how we are. That's how we are. That's how we are. Cause look. I'm just be honest. We all know, man. We know who's gonna. It don't take us that long to know who wifey is. Once we didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
It don't take us. 2-3 years.
Yeah.
This, that, and that. We already know.
Mm-hmm.
But when we, make her wife.
Mm-hmm.
No, that might take 2 or 3 years.
Oh, that's gonna take a long time.
Let's not get it twisted. We might know who is the wife, but
but y'all still gonna take out sweet precious.
Yeah, we might, take our time making it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Well, yeah. So that's it.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
I like it. Good episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode. Good first episode.
Yes.
Episode 1 lit.
Whoop whoop. Our journey of love.
Party over here, y'all.
Oh, party time already.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our Journey of Love podcast. We are so excited that you are here.
And to telling our voices.
Yes. to listen to episode 1, Escaping the Friend Zone. So be sure to tune in for our next episode. Until then, remember, love is patient, love is kind. We'll see you here next time. Peace.